What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Novichenko Whips YouTube channel. What do we have here today for the F30? Some H and R. R for race. Springs. Sport springs for lowering the suspension and improving the back road fun. 100% made in Germany. Das ist gut, ja? We'll make sure to tighten these down to German torque specs, the Guten tights. If you're gonna do springs, you need some of these to be safe. Usually any auto parts store will let you borrow them and return you your money when you bring them back. These are the ones you need. 2 will be plenty. These springs are not too heavy duty. If you're doing like a thick truck spring, you might need 4 of these. Just an FYI. I think the drop on these is about 1 inch. That's what I want. Don't want an aggressive drop. They do have a Super Sports that drop the car even more. Today we're installing H&R Sport Springs. We've done one side. The trick is to use a jack for the lower arm, and then these 2 nuts and bolts you pull out, angle down that whole arm, shove in the new spring. Let's observe Maximus on this end too.
Oh, fell out.
I can help you. Let me, here, maybe if you hold it down, try to align it.
Yeah, so that little tiny thing.
Holding it, holding. Sorry. Too close for comfort. All right, slowly lift her upper.
Make sure that bottom one is.
Yep, that's good.
And the pin is.
Pin is aligned. Looks good. Once we
Just use that force that we did last time.
use the force. Get it under this lip.
Go.
Go further back a little, because you won't be able to align that to the hole. Sorry.
Probably right.
Just get it right over the lip.
I feel like that's kind of.
That's fine.
Oh no, it's good right here. Yeah, you can suck it.
All right.
You know what side the
shock.
screw goes in? This way or this way?
It goes from the front to the back. Okay. Is it aligned?
It needs to be lowered.
Like that?
Yep.
When you lift it on this side? You can kind of tap it with something. Nice.
Left taps.
And then we could just loosely tighten that. And then now let's go up with this.
See how this one looks now.
Yeah. A little more. A more. All right, give that a tap.
Doesn't wanna.
See? Lift.
There you go.
Boom. If it's all the way in, now we can just lower it.
Yep. Super like
Low duty.
so you don't strip the bolt part of this.
Yeah.
Really useful. And
Thank you, sir.
on the regular drills, they max out at 2. So if they added a third one, which is way higher speed,
Okay, let me tighten it and then
You're looking at.
what's red?
Okay, we're ready. I took it out. We're ready to rock and roll. You can probably start taking off all these 13s.
Almost there.
Here, I can even.
You just want to watch it so it doesn't flop anywhere.
Yeah, I'll hold it. Yeah. But here's the 13. You can use drill.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, I'm on the couple last ones.
That's interesting that you only have 3.
Maybe M Sport has more torque.
Yeah.
And last one second.
I'm holding it.
Yeah, this would be hard to do alone.
It's not that it's hard, it's just, it makes it a lot. Oh, it doesn't even drop.
Flop out.
There you go. Nice.
I'll bend it back.
Just like that.
That thing is meant to kind of be easy to bend.
Well, yeah, you can mark it. So what we did is took a picture. You can mark it too.
Kiseke, what's up, bro?
So these right here, they go right here. Oh no, right here.
I was more gonna mark how it goes over here. It looks.
Well, you can just write with the marker right here.
So a lot of people resort to taking out the full shock assembly, which involves loosening this guy and then prying that apart and then pulling this whole thing out. But if you're careful and you use some painter's tape on your fender and you disconnect the sway bar link, and then of course be careful to disconnect your brake line, you can see everything is pretty slacked here. Nothing is too tight, and this thing is just, you know, without too much weight hanging out on the knuckles down there, or whatever you want to call them, the joints. And so this gives you space to put on your new spring, compress it, put on the top hat. I've been told that the top nut, you need to torque it down to like 25 foot-pounds. If you torque it down too much, the bushings in this, or the rubber, will squeak when you turn the steering wheel, so bear that in mind. Couple of tips: use your air gun. It's better to orientate the longer side of these spring compressors downward because your top hat is pretty wide. And you do have to compress it down quite a bit. This is not quite enough because the shock threads don't come through yet. And so crank down on those, situate it correctly with the rubbers, align those. This rubber, you need to align the end of the shock with that. It would seem that you have to align it with this portion, but no, that lays down on there. And this is a little stopper for there. Don't forget your bump stop. With the top hat on and the nut loosely on there, some people will resort to just air gunning it down, but eventually, right, the shock tube inside will start spinning as well. You can get yourself one of these crescent pass-through spline and socket sets. What this allows you to do is use a socket, but also get through and put your, you know, hex or Torx or reverse Torx, whatever they're called, key in there to hold it while you snug it down to 25 foot-pounds. Another thing you can do, so since my spring is still compressed, this might, you know, crank down for a while. Always reference possibly your other stock setup. So see the number of threads. That looks like 5 or 6 threads, but I'm sure it seats down, like the top hat just seats down on the shock. And so that's what we'll do. Get it nice and good and tight, German torque spec. Another comment on how I was able to maneuver this whole assembly out and past the fender without scratching it. You can put a nice crowbar up under there. You do end up bending just your dust shield, but you can bend this back and straighten it out when you put this back. And putting it back, because the spring is shorter, you literally just use your hands and it maneuvers under there, and then you could use a jack to place carefully under here. Don't bend that shield. Some people forget when they start driving, they start hearing funny noises and then they think they broke something. You can just go under the knuckle instead of the shield down there. Prop it up. 13 mils, 15 mil, but like, no, 14, but a star pattern. And then as you can see, it looks like we're pre-torqued pretty good. You know, looks like it matches the other side. Let's put it back together over here. Literally tightened one bolt. Can't say that I cranked down on it, and it's jammed up. Stuck. Maybe the mechanism inside is jammed, but no bueno. Quick recap on the second side, how to take it apart. That's a 14, these are 313s. When you get in here, make sure everything's slightly loosened up so that when this comes over and out, you're not hyperextending anything or pulling anything too bad. I've seen people kind of not release this clip and the brake line is just super stretched out, and I don't know if that's good. But let's do this side. This one you can zip it off, but when you're putting it back, it's like a T30 or 40, T25 that you have to put in the middle, and then you need, again, what's helpful is these pass-through style sockets, or use a wrench, but you might need a short one because everything's really tight. Let's get on it. When you have everything loosened up inside, you can lightly jack up this thing. I've already taken off the 14. I've loosened the 13s, but let's take them off all the way. Most of this job can be done single-handedly. I think the only difficult part is maybe getting a second pair of hands, another person to crowbar down on the whole assembly as you carefully angle this whole assembly outward so you don't scratch anything. You could call someone over to give you a hand with that. But everything else is pretty easy to do on your own. Also, careful, there's like a positive battery terminal here. Might be hot if you short it out against something. I don't know. For the rears on the bottom, you have to notice that this nipple faces outward. On the top, make sure your cap is seated correctly, and so you're going to unscrew these two bolts. It's a little work. You have to use a jack to lift the whole assembly up and down to wiggle them out correctly. But then you can easily use your hand to bend that down, or a second set of hands, and then carefully position that back up into its cradles and button everything up. The rear is pretty easy. Here she is, all said and done. The front gap is gone, looks great. And of course, I have not driven it at all yet, but even standing by the car, it feels lower. It feels great. This is how it should be. I'm sure in a day or two, if I drive it here and there, it'll settle. Then we're gonna go get an alignment. Looks great. Let's put this hood down. We'll get some shots outside tomorrow. Here we are. Just pulled it out of the driveway. It's gonna take a day or two for it to settle. Maybe you'll get another 1/4 to 1/2 inch, I don't know, but it looks great already. The spacers and the H&R Sport Springs definitely gives this thing the stance, the look that it needs. Love it. compare. I'm even looking at the mirror heights for the M5 versus the 3. M5 still might feel or look a tiny bit lower. Yeah, M5 is a spaceship, so much lower compared to the 30. Interesting. We'll see what happens after we drive around a bit.